host, Johnny Zex.
Welcome back to another episode of The Devil's Mic. This is your host, Johnny Zex, and I'm here with No Home out of Washington, right? Seattle, Washington. So let's go ahead and introduce yourselves and tell us what you do in the band.
I'm Nick, I play guitar.
I'm Dell, I play drums.
I'm Craig, I do vocals.
Gordon, I play bass.
Right on. So let's go ahead and hop into it. How did everybody meet? Who wants to start it off?
I can go ahead and take that. So Nick and I actually started jamming about 3 years ago in another project that we had going on called Burdens, and that wound up being quintessentially a burden. So we decided to end that, and we'd been working on stuff on the side. Gordon and I kind of reconnected maybe about 6 months to a year after I moved up to Seattle from Portland, and he was in a band called Enterprise Earth at the time, and came back home, and we kind of decided let's give it a shot and put things together. And after some time and replacing a drummer, we found Dell and through the local scene. So yeah.
Right on. So y'all been around for since what, 2018? Y'all are kind of new-ish, would you say?
Yeah, so we started about 2 years ago. We've only been out to the public for about a year, so yeah.
Right on. So let's go ahead and hop into the discography and just like the music that y'all released throughout the past year or so. We'll go ahead and start with Swallowing Teeth. It was released back in August 2018. Talk to us about the debut single and was it kind of like a statement as to New Home is?
We wanted to, give something hard, heavy, fast, and something that would make people hungry for more. So that was a good first step for us.
Yeah. All right. So as to being hard, fast, and heavy, the style of music that you play is, what would you say, like melodic hardcore? That's kind of like a genre that hasn't gone away necessarily, but, it's still around. What made you guys go that route?
I think we're in a time with a revival of it too. It's super neat because you have bands like the Ghost Inside coming back, Stitch Your Guns is still doing it super hard, and we just kind of wanted to mix the stuff that we like. You can hear like a heavy counterparts influence on us too, but still having that heartfelt that's a little bit different, that's not quite just melodic hardcore. So it's been really fun kind of like reinventing the wheel in a weird way with this style of music the best we can.
Yeah. And it also brings that nostalgic effect to a lot of people. I see a lot of comments under videos that you guys post as far as like your music videos saying how it reminds them, it brings me back to this time or whatever. What would you say in response to that? Is that what you guys are looking to do?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just writing the kind of music that I grew up listening to, and so I can see why people would I don't know.
Kind of like relate to it and kind of like, it brings it back to them. Yeah, and it's something that
was more of a question for Craig anyway.
Oh, okay. So it's something like people are like more comfortable with, or what you guys are more comfortable with style-wise. Is this something that you're looking to keep? Because a lot of bands tend to, kind of change their style, change their sound. Is this kind of style what you're looking to keep throughout the years?
Yeah, I wouldn't say that we want to pigeonhole ourselves into anything in particular. I think if you look at the careers of bands like Bring Me the Horizon, if you were to ask them back when Pray for Plagues came out, are you going to keep writing the same record? They probably would have said yes, but as we can see, they've constantly developed, constantly evolved, and so I don't think that we want to pigeonhole ourselves into that, but, I think right now, we are going down that route, and I think we'll just consistently iterate off that and evolve from what we've done, so, yeah.
Nice. All right, let's go ahead and talk about Nothing Gold Can Stay. Is released earlier this year in February. What was the writing process or the creative process going into making that album?
Nick would be the best person for that.
Nick, No, you're good. What's the creative process into going writing Nothing Gold Can Stay?
I just was sitting in my room one day, I was bored, and I just busted the song out, and I wrote that one in 2 days, and I was just trying to go for something that's straight to the point, catchy, and fast. And I think that song is the best song that represents our record as a whole.
Nice. And let's go ahead and talk about the record that is coming out, Living in Hallways, upcoming EP that's going to be released October 18th. Now, are all these singles going to be on the EP? Yeah. Now, are there, what should people expect from the EP whenever it gets released?
I would honestly just pretty much expect more of the same. I think everything that we've kind of put out has been a pretty accurate depiction of the band. We have yet to put out our heaviest song, which is on that EP, so expect something a little bit heavier. Stuff that's still just as heartfelt. There's a song that we haven't put out that's for my mom on there. Just more of the same, really. If you've liked what you've heard from the current singles, then you'll love the other 3 songs that haven't been heard yet.
Nice. So. And it kind of gives like a well-rounded aspect as to what all you guys could bring. Like you said, there's going to be a heavier song on there that we haven't heard yet, so it'll bring that aspect of the band into that. So now, as far as like where you guys record, who do you guys usually record with?
For this EP, we went with Michael Somm and Ricky Orozco down in Portland, Oregon. Nice.
Shout out those guys right there. Now, Narrative and Nothing Gold Can Stay was directed by Bance Valenzuela as far as like the music video goes. What was it like working with Bance?
Oh man, I like working with bands. Shows up, he gets the job done, man. He has a really, really deep creative mind. I think he's got a giant skill set, and I think it really brought a vision of what we wanted to life.
Nice. And as far as like any upcoming music videos, are you going to be working with Bance in the future?
We'd like to. It's pretty much, we don't have anything planned quite yet, but he's definitely been able to capture the visuals that we want perfectly, and that's been saving grace. It's been great.
He also did the video that we just released for All I Am Is Alone, and he did the video for Swallowing Teeth as well. So he's done everything that we've been a part of.
Shout out Bance. And let's go ahead and break it down to tours and shows that you've done. Now you have toured and came through Texas back in June with Samsara, as I say it, Samsara and Mugshot.
No, we actually weren't here for the Texas days.
Oh, you weren't?
No.
Oh, okay. Anything that happened in particular, or something came up, or?
Well, we were only supposed to be on it for the first 2 weeks. We were never planning on being in Texas for that run anyway.
Oh, gotcha. Dang. That's why y'all are. It's so hot. I was like, wait, didn't y'all come back here?
Yeah, no.
That's cool. Now you did have a quick run through Canada at the end of June, beginning of July. Have any of y'all been to Canada before?
Oh yeah.
Yeah? No? What was it like going to Canada for the first time?
It was cool. It was cool being that far away from home and hearing people sing, know the words to your songs. And poutine is great. I'll throw that in there. So.
Nice. Shout out those guys. And what was the reception like as far as the music goes up in Canada?
I sadly wasn't able to go with the band in Canada, so I did the first little bit of the tour with Distinguisher, and then we had a friend fill in, Andrew. Thanks, Andrew. But Canada's always fun. I've been out there. I used to be in a band called I Declare War, and we did a bunch of stuff out there, and it pops off. Like, they love their scene. Poutine, can't go wrong. Yeah.
Nice. And another one I wanted to say, y'all played with Mother Sound and Fourth Teller before. We're actually supposed to interview Mother Sound. We interviewed Fourth Teller, so out with those guys. Hopefully we get Mother Sound on the tour, on the show. But as far as what you guys are on this tour for, the No Sleep Tour, you're actually going to No Sleep Fest in Galveston, which is actually tomorrow. What's it like to be featured on a fest?
Oh man, it's exciting. It's exciting to be in a place with a bunch of different people wanting to do the same thing and kind of create and be in that environment and that atmosphere where you're able to share these things that we really hold dear with everybody around us. So stuff like that's always super cool. That connection, the network, is the most important thing for us, yeah.
For sure. And y'all been in Texas for, a few days already. What's the reception been like as far as like your music? I'm sure not a lot of people in Texas have heard your music, but what's it been like?
So far, it's been better than we could have anticipated. There was a kid out last night that was singing along to Nothing Gold Can Stay, which none of us expected. He was also singing along to Fairwell, so shout out to those guys. But yeah, it's been a great reception so far. So.
Right on. Now, to close it out, what are you guys looking to do to close out 2019 going into the new year?
We're going to get back and start writing. Maybe something locally, like support a charity or something for Christmas, do something like that. Who knows? Possibilities are open, but we want to get back and put out some more music next year.
As far as like what you want for the future, what are you looking to bring to everybody, all your fans?
I think it's really hard to talk about the future in terms of like music and whatnot, because as we kind of talked about earlier, bands are always iterating, always evolving, so it's really hard to say. I think like the general goal is just to continue doing what we have done, which is bring heart and message back into music. To give people that outlet to feel like they have a way to be heard and that it's okay to not be okay.
Yeah. So. For sure, and that's a huge message that you guys portray in all of your music in general is, there's always hope. There's, the end is not always the answer, which is a huge message that everybody can really look for. How would you say like that in itself has changed your life as far as like being able to be an advocate for those people?
It's just a reminder that adversity makes champions. Pressure builds diamonds, man. It's something that we all deal with ourselves internally, and it's something that we can all share our own battles for, and it's something that that I think we all have the opportunity to develop growth from, and we're trying to push that passion and push that hope, and I think that's a beautiful thing.
Nice. Amen. So be on the lookout for Living in Hallways. Again, it's going to be set to release October 18th. Are you guys going to do any type of run with that album, or?
This is it.
This is it?
This is the run.
Okay, nice. All right, well, I mean, shit, that's all we got for today. Y'all want to give a shout out to anybody?
The world, we love you.
I want to give a big shout out to Joel Haston and Josh Espinosa at Pinup Artist Management. Also to Cameron Norris over at Dreamer Agency. All those guys have been super supportive in everything that we've done, and we really appreciate the work that they've been putting in for us. Big thank you to Vance, to excuse me, to Michael Somm and to Ricky Orozco for helping us make this record happen. Everyone that's been involved, it's been a really special experience. We can't thank everyone enough.
Oh man, huge shout outs. Josh, Joel, huge Pinup Artist Management. Just thank you so much for everything that you guys are doing. Cameron, obviously, putting everything all together. Michael Somm, Ricky Orozco for putting the products together. Vance for being our visual side of us. That's always huge. Grace, baby, I love you, baby girl. I love you. Okay.
Shout out to my buddy Luke. Everybody else who's been supporting our band from the start. My mom, my dad, my brothers, everybody that's listening to our band. Thank you.
All that support system. Oh yeah, go ahead.
I want to shout out to my baby girl, Emily. Love you, baby. Mwah.
He ain't forget about you, girl. You always on her mind, or on his mind. And also, I want to give a shout out to fucking Cameron. He's the one that helped us get this interview with you guys, and I'm eternally grateful for that. It's always good to get that new faces to the scene. Not only capture Texas bands, but always bands from outside. So, shout out to Cameron. I'm gonna see you later, dude. But yeah, other than that, just follow the band on social media at Fairwell No Home WA. Sorry, No Home WA. And yeah, that's all we got for today's episode. Again, you're tuned into the Devil's Mic. We out.